Hello, hello. I'm just waiting a few minutes for people to hop on. Hello, everyone. All right, so I wanted to make a live video today to share my top 3 favorite tips to start implementing self-care. In case you don't know, I am going to start a program called Happy Habits. That will start in November 1st. It's on a Monday. That program's all about helping you implement healthy habits that work for you, your unique self, your unique lifestyle, and that works with your unique schedule. And with a little background in self compassion, because I'm pretty passionate about that, and I don't think we should be hard on ourselves when things don't go as planned. So the program's all about that flexibility, self compassion, doing stuff that works for you, implementing healthy habits and self care in a way that works for you. So, if you're interested in that, you can send me a message. But I will give you my top 3 favorite tips right now. So, you don't have to wait till November. But if you want to wait, well, I mean, you can start implementing habits right now. That's not what I'm saying. But if you want to join other people and do it with other people and you want my support and all that stuff, then you can join on November 1st. So you can send me a message if you're interested. So I will get right into it because I know you're all super busy. So my first tip is to start small. So when we implement goals, for healthy habits or self-care, whatever, or any goal really, we go too intense. Let's say you're someone that hasn't been to the gym in a very long time. So you're going currently 0 days, but you're really motivated and you're like, I want to go to the gym. I want to start going to the gym. So most people go, okay, I'm going to start going for 5 days. Well, going from 0 to 5 is quite a big jump. And since you're not currently going, it's not part of your routine yet. So one thing that you want to do is to start really small. So one day. We might even, when I say small, sometimes people will say, well, okay, I'll do 3. And it's not to discourage someone, because it's okay to want to go 3 times or 5 times. But when you're currently going 0 times, it's a big jump to start going 3 times. So you might want to start with 1 time, see how that goes, and then set that as your goal. But if during the week you end up going 2 or 3 times, even though you set your goal to 1, well, you accomplished your goal. And then if you go 2 times, then you went above and beyond. Whereas if you set your goal for 3 times and you only go once, well, you're probably going to feel a little disappointed in yourself, right? So start small, and that way, every time you accomplish that goal, it's going to give you that little boost you need to keep going, right? Because it's enjoyable, because you're like, yes, I'm succeeding, this feels good, I'm going to keep going. So that's what you want to do. Small goals, almost like so small that there's no way you can accomplish it. So that's my first tip. Start small. Second tip, schedule it in. So something that I see very often is, okay, I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week. And I'm using the gym as an example because it's just what I have in mind right now. So going to the gym 3 times a week, but there's no plan. So, you get to Friday and then you're like, oh, I didn't go to the gym at all, right? Because you didn't really plan it. So you want to schedule it in. You want to put it in your calendar. If you want to put it on your phone with a reminder, in your journal, in your agenda, whatever, you want to write it down. And something that can help is also associating it with a habit that you're already doing. So, for example, it can be like right after I'm done work, normally you drive home, right? Well, you can change it to I'm going to drive to the gym instead. So you can do that. So you're kind of associating it with another habit. You can also do, let's say you want to do a little bit of yoga in the morning. Well, you can be like, you know what? I'm going to, normally when I get up, I go straight to the washroom, brush my teeth, wash my face. Cool. You can do that. And then right after, you can schedule in your yoga. So you're associating it with something that you're already doing. So that way it's kind of easier to stick to it, and you have that plan. You know, you're associating it with a habit, you have that plan, and you're more likely to stick to it. So that's my second goal, to schedule it in. And if you don't get to it, like sometimes we schedule things in and things change, and that's fine. You know, like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm all about self-compassion. And, you know, if we beat ourselves up, it doesn't really help. It just makes us feel bad, and it's not beneficial whatsoever. So if you said, okay, on Monday, I'm going to go to the gym, let's say right after work. So you associate it with your habit, you scheduled it in, you're all good. But then something happens and you can't make it to the gym. That's okay. You can try to do it the next day. Or if it just doesn't work, that's fine. You don't have to beat yourself up for it. And that's another thing. We also always tend, or not always, but most of the time, we tend to go like, if I didn't do it once, I can't do it for the rest of the week, right? It's not like we don't celebrate the fact that, like, okay, I did 0%, or not 0%, I did like 5%, right? We don't celebrate the 5%. We expect 100, but we have to celebrate every single little percentage. So that's very important. So I guess we could add that as like a 2.5, is to celebrate the wins. So now moving on to my third tip. Drum roll. Flexibility. So it kind of goes into what I was just saying, but things don't always go as planned, and that's fine. We can't expect ourselves to like always go to the gym 3 times a week at the same time all the time, because that's what we planned, right? That's what we scheduled in. It's not going to happen that way. Family stuff happens, your car breaks down, holidays happen. Sometimes you just don't want to go because you're not feeling good, or you just simply don't want to go, and that's okay. So you have to kind of expect to be flexible and plan for it when stuff might happen. And you can kind of plan ahead. So like, let's say you're like, okay, what if I plan to go to the gym after work on Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Okay, now you can think, what am I going to do if something happens and I can't go? So you can have different options. So 1, I'm just going to let it go for that day. 2, I'm going to try to go later. If I can't, I might go the next day. But for some people, just doing that might kind of increase their stress, right? So they might just opt to not do it at all, and that's fine. So you just want to be flexible and expect that things won't always happen. If you want to meditate before bed, sometimes, you know, you'll end up going to bed too late, and then you're like, oh, I meant to meditate right before bed. Well, if it's already 1 a.m. and you meant to go to bed at like 11 p.m., well, adding meditation is maybe not what you want to do, because you'd rather get the sleep instead. So it's all about kind of being flexible and doing what's best for us in the moment. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I say that quite often. So those are my tips. So for those who weren't there, you want to start small, you want to schedule it in, and you want to be flexible. So I hope these tips are helpful. You can always send me a message if you need extra guidance or if you have any questions or anything. And like I said earlier at the beginning, if you're interested, I am starting Happy Habits on November 1st on a Monday. Perfect. I know everyone likes to start things on Monday. And it's all about implementing healthy habits and self-care by setting realistic goals and being flexible and self-compassionate when, you know, things inevitably don't go as planned. So if you're interested in joining that, send me a message. I'll send you all the details. Send me a DM or an email. You know how to contact me. You can even ask in the group if you want. So yeah, those are my tips. I'm just gonna look at the comments really quickly to see if there's anything. Oh, hey, Jackie. Wow, the comments were like so low, so I didn't see them. Jackie, Rana, hi. It does take time. Yes, you're right. It does take time, but you know what? Actually, I'll share a little story too while I'm thinking about it. So at one point, I think this was like 2-3 years ago, maybe, my goal was to start implementing meditation and journaling at the same time. I wasn't doing either of those things, but I wanted to do both. So I tried to do both. I kind of, scheduled it in. I was like, okay, right before bed, I'm going to journal and then meditate and then go to bed. So I did that. But for some reason, I would always journal. I would always write 3 things I was grateful for every night. But then when it came to meditating, I would never do it. And I would get upset at myself. I'd be like, why am I journaling but not meditating? And then eventually, I was like, clearly this isn't working, so I'm just going to stop trying to meditate for now and just focus on journaling. So journaling became a habit. I actually started doing it for like maybe a year and a half, and it really became part of my routine. And it was something that I really enjoyed, and I started doing it. And then I was like, right, I still like to meditate. So I started implementing meditation after my journaling, but because journaling was already part of my habits, adding meditation after was actually quite easy at that point because journaling was just part of what I was doing every night before bed, or most nights before bed. Remember, flexibility. So anyways, now most days I'll journal and then I'll meditate after before bed, and now it's kind of part of my routine. So I mean, some months are better than others and so on, but for the most part, that's part of my routine and that's what I do. And if I feel like journaling and meditation still serve me in the moment, then I do it. And yeah, basically all that to say that, I tried to do too much at once, which kind of goes back to my first tip, which was start small, because I just went too big and I didn't succeed. So I downsized to just journaling instead of journaling and meditating, and that worked, right? So instead of being hard on ourselves, we can maybe just take a step back, reevaluate, and then maybe decide to let something go for now or to go even smaller. And every situation is different and everyone's different, so you get to kind of evaluate and see what would work for you. So those are my tips. I hope you enjoyed them. I'm going to see the comments again really quick. One goal at a time. Yes, Rana. With always some good... Rana always has something really nice to say. Very smart. Okay. I am done speaking. If I stay on, I'm just going to ramble forever. Thank you so much for listening. I hope these tips are helpful. And again, send me a message if you're interested in happy habits. Thank you for watching. Bye.